It's Leanne here with Diamonds and Duxies, and we're going to do a whip and chat. I hope there's enough light for you to see. Yeah, so I just got, I did an unboxing, or I did a kit up and chat for an unboxing kit up and chat on this. I think that might have been my, well, I don't know if this is my last video, but anyway, there is a video if you'd like to go back and watch me kit it up. If I remember, I will link it in the description. Anyway, I'm going to, it's a Diamond Art Club called Lee's Garden. And it's a 13 by 13 inch or 33 by 33 centimeters. It is round. I'm actually going to do it for Mia's, it's a May event. Now I can't remember the name of it. I will find it so I can put it in the hashtag. But anyway, I'm not going to, you know, it starts on May 1st, and I don't think I'll get it completed until after that. So it's all good. It doesn't have to be a new start. So anyway, I'm using papers from Bee's Crafty Corner. I do not remember the name of these, but I like Bee's Crafty Corner. My tray is from Bijou Bliss, and it's got the magnetic lid, the magnetic stopper, which I love both of those things because I do use them. Let's see, I haven't used this one in a while, so. Okay, and then this is the pen I've been using for a little bit. This is Leopard Leather Works. I don't remember who did the, you know, the blank. I don't remember who the blank maker was on this, but it's got a lot of see-through. You don't really notice it unless you're really, really looking. So anyway, so that's where we are with that. And it's got 56 colors. So yeah, let's get jiggy with it, shall we? Hang on. There. Okay, get this out. So I've got, I gotta move these without spilling them. See if I can do that. Very nerve-wracking. Okay, so I got my other ones over there. And as usual, I am using my Art Dot. This is the two drawer system, but I also have two 4-drawer systems, but I'm using the 2 on this. And I'll leave a link for that for Amazon down below, because now I don't know, yesterday it was on sale for $29, I think $99, I believe, and it's normally $40-something. So yeah, I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in it, because you should really always get that when it's on sale. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why am I yawning already? Okay. Let's see. Whenever I first start out, I try to look around and see what symbol just really grabs me. And I like to do the edges. So I like that kind of grabs me, but I don't want to have to be trying to place there with having all this open. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to start here with the pluses. So let me see here we go. They're right, y'all. Right, y'all. So anyway, how are y'all doing? So before I get into what's going on in my little life, I want to know, how are you? Are you doing well? Are you just surviving? Or are you not doing well at all? If you're not doing well at all, then, or if you're just surviving, I hope that, you know, somehow in my own little infinitesimal way, I can, you know, at least entertain you for a little bit, take your mind off of your problems or off of your pain or whatever is going on in your life. I hope I can make it a little bit better for the little bit of time that we're together. And if you're doing great, then that is awesome. And I'd love to hear about it either way, whether you're doing great or not so great. I would love to hear from you, because, you know, you do get to where people mean something to you. You know, it's like, well, you know, you talk to people and you do get involved. You do care. So, yeah, I would love to hear how you're doing. So, what's been going on with me? Well, y'all, quite a bit, actually. Or for me, it's quite a bit. especially when you're not used to nothing happening. But tomorrow, I am getting together with Darla, my sister, who I've met, gosh, I think 8 years ago now. And maybe even 9 years. Anyway, and she's going to get to meet our dad. Now, she has seen him. She thinks she was maybe around 7 when she saw him. But she'll be 70 this year. So it's been a little bit, right? So everybody's changed. Everybody looks a little different now. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I finally talked to another sister that I hadn't talked to before last night. And that was a lot of fun. She is she'll be 65, or she just turned 65. I can't remember. I'll be 62. So we're all close in age. And, but anyway, we're trying to plan a get together as well. And I think we will meet next week at my dad's house. I think that might be the plan. And we're trying to get my other sister to go that we haven't met yet. Trying to get Darla to go. But Darla is, she's always busy. She just doesn't stop. She's got 14, 15 grandkids. I can't remember now. A lot. She's got a lot of grandkids. And she is very involved in all aspects of their life. So, I mean, if they're doing something, she's there to watch it. And they come to visit. I mean, she's always very busy with her grandkids, which is great. It's great, but, especially in May, there's always something going on. So I'm sure somebody's graduating. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see. But we've decided that regardless whether she can make it or my other sister that I haven't met can make it, we'll invite them. And if they can, that's wonderful. That would be absolutely, positively awesome sauce. But if not, that we would still go ahead. Because, sometimes you just can't get everybody together. You just can't. And I get that. I understand that. What may work for one person may not work for another. And, everybody's got their own schedules. So, yeah. So that is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to next week. I really am. So we shall see. I'm also thinking about, because when I was talking to my sister, she said, you really need to go. It's called Payne Springs, and it's up around Dallas. And she said, you really need to go up there. I mean, come on, the population, I think I looked, was like 741. And so not a lot of people there. But there's a cemetery there that's got predominantly the Hughes family in it. So I was like, well, I do want to go there and see great-great-grandparents. And, there's 3 or 4 different surnames there that are all related. So I do want to do that. And I'm thinking about seeing if my dad would like to go with, because he mentioned the other day that he had not been there to see his grandfather's grave. So I'm thinking about seeing if he would like to do a little road trip. I could go pick him up, and then we could go there. We'd have to spend the night, because it's from where I live now to get there is about 3.5 hours. But I don't know, once I factor in going to pick him up, I don't know how far it is from his house. Because basically he lives on the east end of Texas, or the East Texas, basically. So, and I'm southeast. So, and we would need to go north. So I don't know, but I'm thinking, about asking him and seeing if that's something he'd like to do. And then, we can get a hotel room or 2 hotel rooms. I asked Max if he wanted to go, because I thought, it might be a nice little little road trip. And he was like, nah, I think I'd rather stay home. You know, why don't y'all go? So I'm like, well, we can. But, so anyway, I think I'm going to ask him at some point, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight when I talk to him on the phone. I don't know. And see if he'd like to go. And then maybe he can tell me, you know, about the different people that are buried there. You know, who they were to him, which, you know, would help me know what they are to me. And, yeah. So we shall see. Yeah, part of me gets a little overwhelmed. I mean, my sister yesterday when I was talking to her on the phone, I was like, I want to see pictures, you know. I want to see even like when y'all were kids, you know, like my sisters when they were kids, you know. And so she sent me a lot, and I was just like, oh, you know, I don't know. I get overwhelmed real easily. That's not really saying much when I say I get overwhelmed, because it doesn't take much. But yeah, I don't know. I want to know history, you know. I want to hear. I've heard about, you know, my grandparents, my dad's parents, and I really regret not getting to know them, you know. I really, really do. Yeah, especially when I was younger. It would have been nice. But they didn't even know about me. So, you know, and I think I told you that, you know, my parent, they were not married. My mother and my father were not married. And in fact, he himself was a married man. And so that's just not something that, you know, he would go and tell anybody else, you know? I mean, it's not like he'd go, hey, Mom, guess what? You know, I mean, that's not going to happen, right? Nor is it something you might even tell your children. You know, hey, guess what? I had an affair on your mother, and, you know, you have a sister. You know, it's just not going to work that way. So, you know, I get that. Now, it's funny because Darla, of course, her parents were actually married. I mean, they got married when her mother was 15 and he was 17, because that's, I mean, he turned 18 and then bam, Darla was born. So, but they were actually married, and Darla and her mother actually lived with his parents for a little bit, and while he was in the Army. So, you know, she knew her. So all these other siblings grew, but, you know, Darla didn't know that they knew about her. She had no idea that her grandmother was telling them, this is Darla, this is your, you know, your first, this was, you know, the first one. And so they all grew up knowing we got a sister named Darla. You know, they never looked for her or anything, but they knew she was, you know, they knew they had one. And so, yeah. But, I mean, I like to think that if his parents had known about me, I think they would probably love me. I got the impression that she just really loved kiddos, and she enjoyed being a grandmother. So I think she probably would have. But, you know, I never got that opportunity. So it is what it is. But I have the opportunity now. And I'll never get to know her, obviously, but, you know, hopefully we'll get to meet in heaven. Hopefully God will introduce us. So, man, I keep hearing something. I don't know what someone's doing. There's some kind of, must be the house down the street that's getting completely remodeled. And when I say completely remodeled, they replaced all the brick and stone on the outside of the house and redoing it. I mean, yeah, only the foundation, I think, is going to be original. But, and they started in June or July. So they started way before us. But they're doing a lot more. I thought we were doing a lot. Nope, they're doing a lot. So, anyway, I don't know how I got sidetracked because then I forget what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I don't know. Anyway, I know that my dad had made a comment the last time, no, not last week, but the week before when I was up there, that he had not seen his grandfather's grave. So I'm like, you know, I'd like to go up there. My sister said, you really should go up there and make it a day trip or whatever. And I was like, you know, so it hit me today. I was like, maybe that'll be something that he and I can do together. I was kind of hoping Max would go so we could make it a little bit of a, I don't know, a trip. I got to find out. I think there's another cemetery, so I don't know if we need to spend 2 nights or what, but yeah. It's got to be something, though, that I don't need a lot of stuff, because certainly he would help me carry stuff, but, you know, he will be 88, so, you know, he's no spring chicken, and he's got really bad knees. He really should have had a knee replacement surgery, but they said that he just was too old. Well, he was supposed to have had one, and then he had it actually scheduled, and then his wife got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, so he just, you know, quit everything to help take care of her. And then by the time he was like, okay, I guess I can go now and get my knee taken care of. Well, yeah, they said you're past the time to be able to do that. So he's been getting injections, and he needs another injection. So hopefully he'll go here pretty soon and get it. But I think that'll be kind of fun. I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what that noise is. I can tell now. Gotta be careful. This one symbol looks very much similar to that other symbol, the star that I'm doing. So anyway, I think that sums up that part of my life. What did y'all think about the voting, the Diamond Art Club yesterday? I did vote on some. Honestly, I just didn't feel like there was a lot that, I mean, when I first got into diamond painting and I got to vote on stuff, I was like voting on everything, because it was like, you know, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. And then I realized they really want you to tell them what you'll buy, you know, what you'll probably buy, because they don't want to have something just sitting there in storage, right? You know, they need to make their money too. So I was like, okay, well, I'll quit doing that. And now I'm much more particular on which ones I say that I'll do, because a lot of them I'm like, well, I do like the picture. You know, I like the picture. And then, but I'll look at it and go, okay, that is going to be way too much color blocking or way too much confetti for my taste. So I will not be doing it. And so I don't vote on it, even though I like the picture. Now, if I have someone that's like, oh my gosh, you know, I've been waiting for this to come up for voting. I submitted it to licensing and I really hope they make it. I'll be like, okay, you know, I'll vote on it just to help you make sure you get it. Because I know one time there was a dachshund one, a Starry Night dachshund, and I was like, please, please, please. And it's never come up for voting. And so, you know, it's like, well, I really would have liked to have had that. But it hasn't come up for voting. So But now I am trying to get, now that I've been diamond painting longer, I know what I like, what I don't like, what I'll do, and what I won't do. I usually, the criteria for me is, would you consider hanging it up? And if I say yes to that, then that's probably I'm going to get it. But sometimes it's like, no, it's not really something I would hang up, but maybe in my craft room I would, because it just makes me happy. The subject matter or the colors, they make me happy, but I wouldn't like hang them in my living room or anything. But certainly I would hang them in my craft room. So that's kind of, been my, I don't know, reason for voting for stuff. But I just did not see, I forgot oh my gosh. I left my water downstairs. I'm like, I am thirsty. Oh no, I didn't. I left it right over there. Okay. I'm not gonna pause y'all or anything. I'm just gonna get right up and go over to this desk, because I was gonna work at this desk. But then I was like, no, then I have to move all this stuff over. So we're working at this desk. I'm so glad I didn't leave that downstairs. Okay, so let's see. Let's finish up this part. Okay. Well, I do see some of these. So I'll go ahead and put these out. For those of you who are wondering, this came from Amazon. And if I remember, I will leave a link to it. I want to say it was like $20, but I'm not 100% sure. And of course, with all the new tariffs and stuff, that may have changed. So yeah. What else was I gonna say? Oh, so anyway, were any of your favorites in voting? One of them was really bad. I know that they don't, Diamond Art Club says that they will not use any AI unless it's, unless the artist has heavily done stuff with it. And I don't know, it's like I don't know what it's supposed to be. Kind of looks like a human leopard, But, yeah, so I don't look for that one to make it. I really don't. Because it's just not good. It's just not, yeah, it's not good. And a lot of people are like, no, I don't think so. So, I don't know. All right, let's do this check mark. Basically, now I'm starting to do the ones that I see when I look in my thingy here. And then there's some mystery kits coming out. I don't know when. Don't mystery kits usually come out on Wednesdays? I think that they do, so it must be Wednesday when it's coming out. I am not getting one. I haven't even looked to see what it's going to be, but, I'm sure I'll look and see what it's supposed to be, but I'm still just not really, needing to buy anything. I did buy, what did I buy? I haven't gotten it yet. Oh, it hadn't, that's because it was stuck in customs. Oh, for crying out loud. See, this tells you right there that I don't need anything, and when I can't even remember what I ordered. I don't even remember. I mean, I think it was, I know it was an off the canvas. May have been, I think it may have been the little cottage, the little house that they have. Maybe one or two of those, but I don't remember. But anyway, I think I ordered it on Saturday, but it said on there that it was in customs. So we shall see. Didn't have anything added on for tariffs, so that's good. I don't know how that will pan out. We'll see. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. And Again, it's not like I am sitting here going, I have nothing to do. No. Nope. Not my problem at all, actually. So this is A. Put this back in. Because as soon as I don't put the plug in, I'm going to lose drills. Okay. 4 A's. So let's see, what else? So I've been enjoying the golf cart. It's been a lot of fun. Finding new places. We did find a new place actually yesterday. And that was cool. It's like a little park, but it's mostly just a retention pond with, you know, some benches around it. That's basically it. There's no, you know, playground or anything like that. But you can tell where a lot of the four-wheelers go out there to, I don't know, I guess, go mudding and stuff. Although there wasn't much mud because the water had dried up. I'm sure it was a little boggy, but, and we didn't see anybody doing any four-wheeling, but there were four-wheel drive trucks there. There was a couple of trucks and a couple of Jeeps. So it would have been fun to sit there and watch them. Apparently, in the evenings is, you know, a lot of them go down there. You can go watch the sunset. It's supposed to be nice. And I don't know. I am always in bed at sunset. So I never see a sunset. And that's okay with me. That's okay with me. So anyway, we went down there and did that. That was fun. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, I went on Saturday. I went and got a mani-pedi. I have not had a mani-pedi since July of last year. And I didn't want to go back to the same place because it was just so far. And that was one of the reasons why I was like, I don't have time, you know, because it was like 30 minutes each way. So you're looking at an hour round trip plus 2 hours to be there. Or about an hour and a half, I guess. And so I was like, I just don't want to. It always puts me out in rush hour traffic and yada, yada, yada. So I found a place over here, rode my golf cart to it. And it was fine. It was fine. It was nowhere near as good as my other ladies. And it was also more expensive. But you know, I was like, for what I want, you know, I'm not doing acrylic nails because I'm allergic. And so I'm like, well, you know, it just is what it is. And you know, it's convenient. That what I miss is the massage part because my other lady who did them, Sophie, she did. And oh my God, the best part of the whole thing was the calf and foot massage. I mean, it was just over the top. And here, you get a 5-minute massage. And it's like, and it's just barely touching. It's like, okay, well, this is doing nothing. But, you know, whatever. But I do think, I mean, I know there's some places around here that just do feet massages. And I'm like, you know, I think that's what I'll end up doing. Because they're probably better anyway. Because, well, although, like I said, Sophie knew what the hell she was doing. When it came to massages, she did amazing. So, but I just don't want to drive all the way over there. So, that's why I went to a different hairstylist. You know, I've been going to the same person for 30 years. And, I mean, I love her to death. I consider her a friend. But, you know, I just didn't want to drive so far. And I hate that, you know, because I don't like change. I don't do change very well. But I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where I just want easy. It's hard for me to describe, but it's really affecting many different facets of my life. It's like, no, I just, Even with my diamond paintings, I'm like, no, I don't want this great big kit. I want something easy. Start, finish, easy, you know? And yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Other than I think this house has a lot to do with it for me. Because I absolutely, positively love sitting out back, just watching the trees sway and the leaves blow and the birds, you know, coming to the feeder and the birds in the trees. And I just love it. And if I remember, I'll insert a picture of a indigo bunting that came to my feeder and yesterday, and it was just like, oh, I hadn't seen one in years and years. And so that was just beyond amazing. So I'm hoping I see him again this evening. I don't know if he'll come back or not. They're really should be passing through. So I don't know how long he'll be here, because I know they are part of the spring migration. So yeah, I mean, I hope I see more. So that was really cool. But I catch myself, and I'm not exaggerating, y'all. I will sit outside for hours at a time. Hours. And then when I think, well, I should go in and do something, I'm like, no, I don't want to. I just want to sit here for hours and hours and hours. It's just my happy place. But I tell myself that that's not going to last. You know, the once the weather gets super hot, which won't be long, and the humidity is, you know, crazy, and the mosquitoes are crazy, I won't be sitting outside very much. You know, not as much. It'll just be miserable. So, you know, then I'm like, okay, then I will start being inside more. I'll start cook. I haven't even felt like cooking. You know, I've done some baking. Baking I don't mind. But even like with my sourdough, I haven't been making any, because it's like, this requires so much of my time. You know, it's so much easier to make a yeast bread than it is to make a natural yeast bread, a sourdough bread. So, I don't know. You go over here. I don't know how you came out, but there. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I did fix biscuits and gravy and eggs and bacon and hash browns the other day. I did do that. But it's like, I should be fixing some dinner. Like I said, I just want to be inside. I mean, outside. And Max doesn't seem to mind, so that's okay. You know, I guess if he seemed to mind, I don't know, probably then I'd get a resentment, but no, I don't think so. He doesn't seem to mind, so, you know, I don't know how long that's going to last, but yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm also between this one and Flower Shop Ghost, because I never have finished that one yet. Those are going to be my two whips until I get them done, because there's one square, obviously, and one's round. And so then I'll get back to what I used to do, which I missed. Look at all those A's I missed right there. Was have a round and a square going. That's what I prefer, so yeah. And then I realized, you know, I could have done either one of these for Mia's event. So, you know, maybe I'll do both of them for Mia's event. And it's actually not just Mia's, it's Anthony's at Single and Placing too. So yeah. So if it's Mayflowers. Mayflowers, I think that's what it's called. That sounds right. So if you're not doing it, I suggest you look into it. I'm sure many of us have flowers, kits with flowers in it. And you might actually enjoy doing it. That's what I like about these small ones, because I can really do, I can, I don't lose, I've been losing interest. That's the thing, is I've been losing so much interest. See, these look very similar to stars, just because, on here they're the same, similar color, not same, but similar. So you got to pay attention. Oh, my shoulder is still bad. I have finally, I was like, well, I guess I need to do physical therapy. Well, I made my appointment, and it's not until May 27th. That is their first available appointment. Can you believe that? So, well, it's my own fault for not scheduling it sooner. But, yeah. I'm just grateful it's not my right, so I can still drive. It does make it harder because it's very difficult for me to look over my shoulder when I need to look over to my left, But I do it. Doesn't feel very good, but I do it. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's see. Let's do some X's. X's. Wait, that's not an X, Leanne. What are you doing? That's that one. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and do that one. That was the one that was sticking out to me to begin with. So, oh, I love this color. Oh, and it's a fairy dust. But isn't that a pretty color? Let's see if I can get it up here and show y'all. Isn't that, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me see if you can see. Hang on. It's not easy to move this big booty. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I like it. So, yeah. I like this color. I love the fairy dust. Absolutely love the fairy dust. And I need to start saving some round fairy dust, because I just save, oops, that's one too many. I just save the square fairy dust right now. And I really should save, the square, what did I say? The square fairy dust. So, yeah. I find rounds harder to multi-place. They take up a different amount of room. Let's see, let's put this here and here. Put that right there. They're not hard to multi-place. They're just, they require a little bit more paying attention than the squares, because these don't click together, But then rounds are also more forgiving, I think. I don't know. I like for them to be straight if I can. Sometimes some kits are hard to do. They're not all created equal, I know that. But my multi-placing game improved immensely when I got, well, I guess when Diamond Art Club came out with these thin multi-placers, because before that, the best I could do was a 4. So when they first came out with these, of course, I got a 4, and I was like, oh, this is much easier. So then I was like, well, I guess I'll get a 6. And 8. 8 ended up being the number that is good for me. I did try a 10, and I did get a 12. Or no, I just got a 12. I don't think they had a 10. I don't know if they do now or not. Anyway, I got a 12. I was like, no, that's just a little too much for me. I had a real hard time getting them to line up well, you know. So, because you see how they're already off a little bit right here, you know. And it's just worse for me with the 12. I know a lot of people do. I think some people use like a 15. But 8 is my, 8 is good for me. It's my happy spot. So, and with, you know, some of them you can get 9 on there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I got 9 just then on there. So, yeah. I don't think, is it square that you can't maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've worked on a square. Yep. Oh, isn't that pretty, y'all? I just love the fairy dust. I love the fairy dust way more than I like the ABs. They're also easier to place for me. For me, anyways. Some people just love them, but I do not. So what do y'all think about this new vacuum type of the E-pen or whatever? What do y'all think about that? I don't, what on earth? Look at all these random ones in here. I just don't think that, I'm not saying that I don't think I would like it. It's just it costs a little bit. I don't particularly like single placing unless I have to. But I prefer to multi-place. Now, someone did say they've come out with the multi-placer, but it's not with these, and those are what I like. So this is also a fairy dust, y'all. So I don't know. I know a lot of people love them, call them game changers, but I just don't think they're for me. And like I said, you know, I don't think they're like $1 or $2. I think they're kind of a little bit expensive. So, yeah. I thought about getting one just so I could try it and let y'all know. And then I was like, I don't ever want this channel to be me spending money trying to grow my channel, right? I mean, obviously I'm going to spend some money, but it's like, I don't think I'm going to like it. So, I mean, I've seen other people have it. So there are videos out there about it. And it just doesn't really look like something that, you know, I'm interested in. So, yeah. Now, looky here, y'all. Here's another one. I'm used to this one being an AB, but it's not. It's a fairy dust. And I want to do these two because I like the fairy dust. So, do you have one of those E-pens, E-painters? What are they called? Maybe an E-painter. I don't know. I mean, if I was a single placer, heck yeah, I'd be all over it for sure. And I could see, you know, if you did a lot of confetti heavy pieces, so you did have to do a lot of single placing. But, yeah. Again, sometimes changing stuff makes things more complicated for me, and I'm all about the easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, you know, I've kind of gotten that way now with putty. It's like, I know what I like, you know, and I've been sticking with it. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I get it. You know, some channels, I mean, I assume they make some money. I would hope they do. I mean, because they put a lot of work into their channels. And, you know, I know that they do buy stuff so that they can talk to you about it, or talk to us, I should say, not you, me too, because I watch them as well. And, but I'm not there, so I'm sorry. I'm sure sorry. Oh, gosh. But I'm kind of just like, oh, you know, I like my glue dots, you know, for my single placer. I like my glue dots. I don't want, you know, I don't care what kind of wax it is or any of that. I like my glue dots. So I don't foresee changing that at all. All right, let's see. Do I have anything else in this? I don't see anything else in that. So let's come over here. I do have some equals. So we'll put those in. Not very many, but some. I think I see another tag along in here. Yeah, I do. It's a square of all things. Yep. I've decided I know what that sound is. It's a paint sprayer gun. That's what it sounds like, a paint sprayer gun. I don't even know if y'all can hear it. But I can. Because, you know, it's driving me crazy at first. Like, is that a bird? What kind of bird is that? And, of course, I have my Merlin app. If you don't have a Merlin app, I highly recommend it if you're even remotely wanting to know what kind of birds are in your area, because it listens for the sounds and it tells you what it is. So sometimes I won't even see the bird, but, you know, I'll hear it. And then you can go looking for it, you know, see. But some birds don't come to feeders. They just eat the bugs and stuff on the leaves and, you know, the bark of the trees and whatnot. So, yeah. Oh, here's an equals just thrown up here. All right, do we see any more equals? Any more equals? I do not. All right, I see the daisy. Where is the daisy? Where is, here, is that it? Yep, that's it. That's it. Here's the daisy. Gosh, I hope that's it. Where is, I'm kind of second guessing myself, so I better look. Still not convinced. One, two, three, four. I don't see anything else though that is like it. So, gosh, if y'all are sitting up there going, yeah, it's right there. But I don't think so. I think it is this. I think so. Well, I think the color's right. Oh, well, y'all, if it ain't, it ain't. I'll just have to worry about that at another time. All right, daisies. So I saw this thing, you know, in Galveston, several cruise lines go out of there, but Carnival is one of the main ones. And at the baggage claim, you know, embarkation, they had a huge fight. I mean, a huge fist throwing fight. People on the ground being kicked. I mean, a huge fight. And apparently it was a family. I mean, it was like a family reunion type of thing, you know. And I don't know. Somebody beat somebody at basketball. I don't know what happened. But anyway, these people were, you know, they got arrested. They've been banned from ever going on Carnival Cruise again. And of course, I was like, I bet you they were a real joy to be stuck on a cruise ship with for 7 days. I mean, don't you know they gave their employees a hard time, and they were, I mean, obviously they didn't care about anybody else but themselves. So, you know, but then I was like, so how was your family reunion? Oh, well, yeah, it was great. We got kicked off we can never go back. We got banned from Carnival. And I'm like, oh my God, how does, I mean, I get it. By the time you get off of that, when everybody gets on the ship, everybody's all whoop, whoop, you know, they're all excited. But you can see when people get off the ship, you know, I mean, especially like young families, or, you know, the husband and wife are looking at each other like, don't speak to me, you know, I mean, I get it. Because that's a long time to be stuck with people. But, you know, it's also, you know, when the flight's over, when the cruise is over, I mean, it's over. I mean, they treat you like royalty until it's time to get off the ship. And then it's like, I don't know you, get off of this ship. It's a huge awakening, you know, because it's like before you got coffee in bed and, you know, not now, not at 6 a.m. when you could really use a pot of coffee because, well, you decided that you would enjoy the last minutes of, you know, the cruise. And so now you're not only cranky, but you're hungover, and, you know, you'd kill for some coffee. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, I've seen that before, but I've never seen people start duking it out. I mean, I've seen couples be snappy at each other, you know. But yeah, I tell you, it's, and I have been on some cruises where there have been people like that, just like they have the ship all to themselves, and they're loud, they're boisterous, they'll run you down, they'll cut in lines. I mean, you know, it's just like no couth, no respect for anyone. And unfortunately, Carnival, I've been on more carnivals than I have anything else, but unfortunately, I just think that's the kind of people they attract a little bit more. You know, they are cheaper, you know, and they do a lot of short cruises. I have found the best cruises to go on are 10 days. 10 days or more, because then you get people that have really busted their butt to take the cruise. And, you know, it's, you know, they've got to be off for quite a while in order to do a 10-day cruise. 10 days or 2 weeks. And so it's just a little bit different clientele. You know, they're much more, I don't want to say subdued, but they're more relaxed, you know. I don't know. It's just you don't get a lot of that. So, and I also think where you go, what port you go out of makes a difference too. But I miss going on a cruise. I hope y'all can see, because the clouds keep coming over, and now I'm like, I can't hardly see. But if I turn this ring light on, then it's just going to be a glare in your face, and I don't think you like that if you're actually watching. I know some of you do, so yeah. Because I tried it before I started, and it was like, oh no, turn it off. Because it just leaves like a round glare. Sometimes you can't help it, you know, if it's at night or something, but I don't have good lighting in here. So I need to work on that, I think, at some point. Let's see. You know what I think I should do is, you know, I don't know, some of you are probably way too young to remember, but they used to have where you would plug the light into a light socket, and it had a long chain, and then you put a hook, and you could hang the hook, you know, put the light on the hook. So you could move the hook wherever you wanted it, and have your light coming down that way. I wonder if they still make those, because I might look into something like that for my desks. Texas. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Do you see any more hearts, guys? I do not. Sure. Okay, let's see. Let's do U's because they're right there. Okay. Do some U's. 2 U's. Was it that My Cousin Vinny? 2 Utes. That was a funny show. I like that show. Ooh. I don't know why I'm yawning. Cannot say. Almost feel like that's an illness or something. Because I can talk on the phone and not yawn, so at least I don't think I do. So why is that? Why is that, Dr. Science? Get on there. Okay, and this needs to come up a little bit. Put this in there. Alrighty. That looks like 7. Yep. 5. There goes that cloud cover again. Interesting. Oh no, this one's not going to work there. Get off of there. Yep, there we go. 3, 6. So if y'all been reading books, I had a period there where I didn't read books, but I would listen to audiobooks while I diamond painted. I did a lot. I did the entire Outlander season. I did a lot. And it was awesome. But I haven't done that. Haven't done that in a while. There are a couple of shows that I want to watch on Netflix, but I canceled my Netflix. Well, I mean, because Max has Netflix, so I need to, but the problem is I'm going to lose everything, I'll be having to start over. I'll lose all the stuff that I've watched and, all of that. So, but there's no point in both of us paying for, service. So I think I'm going to see about getting on his account. And that way, because there are a couple of shows, and I can't remember the name of them, but they're like historical fiction, and those are my favorite kinds of shows. So, yeah. But I'm still just doing the YouTube thing. Still just doing every time I think I'm going to watch something. But the problem is, you see, is I watch YouTube to relax my brain. So it's documentaries and woodworking and homesteading and things like that before I go to sleep. And that's really the only time I ever turn the TV on to watch it, So I would literally have to plan in advance, like, okay, well, this show is 2 hours, or this movie's 2 hours long. So you need to start it now, so you can, because if I watch anything that's sad or makes me angry or is controversial or, anything like that, then my brain gets going, y'all, and it's just damn near impossible to stop it. Oh, it's so frustrating. So I have to be real careful what I watch. And a lot of times you think you are, and then you turn it on and it's got, political narrative, or, it's got something in it that either makes me sad, or angry, or just gets so political. And, I watch TV for entertainment, to escape, not to have something pushed down my throat. And I don't want to hear anything pushed down my throat, regardless. Even I can say, well, I mean, I agree with you, but I don't, that's as far as I want to go with it, okay? So just leave me alone. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to, no, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And so you got to be so careful, or I do. You don't. I do. With what I allow into my brain case. All right, where's the P? Uh-oh, where's the P? If Adam was here, he would have something to say to that. Or even Angel. She'd have something to say about that too. So, but this is the C, and I'll do it. C, senor. Let's see, let's get over there. I did go and went to Bass Pro Shops, and I got me a couple more shirts. I went there the other day, and I got a couple of things, and so when I went back, I was like, I need some more shorts, and so I got some shorts. I got some. I don't think they call them. Well, they're not. They're more. They go more to your knees, so I guess they call those clam diggers, which that was a term that's like from the 50s, I think. So anyway, I got some of those, and I got some Bermuda shorts, but they're jorts, they're jean shorts. So they're made to look like cutoffs, and I don't care. I mean, my legs don't need to be shown off, They really don't. Nobody needs to see those, Unless it would help them lose weight. They'll go, no, don't do this. But no, they're not pretty. Well, for one, my age. And for two, I do have cellulite. And then also, I sun damaged myself so badly in my younger years that my skin just doesn't even, it looks weird. It looks like alligator skin. And I have put, all kinds of different lotions and creams on, and it's just not going to change. And it just kind of feels rough, and yeah, it's just not nice. So I'm okay with my knees and my calves showing, or my shins and calves, but not my thighs or my hammies. So those days are over. And then they had a really cute, we also went to Kohl's, and they had a really cute, some sundresses. And I was like, the kind that's got the shearing on top, and then the flowy skirt part. And I was like, I love these. I'm going to get, perfect for summer, And I looked at it. Well, they're sleeveless. Okay. Well, I've got saggy, baggy skin. It's not pretty. It's, I got crepey skin. I mean, come on, look at my arms, y'all. I mean, these look great right now, but it's just like, I think I would be embarrassed, to wear, I missed one of these, to do that. I mean, if I was on I don't even know. I don't know in what setting, unless it was just don't leave the house. Well, if I'm just not going to leave the house, then, why buy a dress? So, yeah, there's that. And, and my bras are all old woman type, so it's like, well, they'll probably show through. And God forbid, I do not want to go try on bras. So, and I hope you guys aren't, if there's any guys watching, aren't going, oh, dear God, can we please discuss something else? But, yeah, it is, although, having said that, I'll see, because, the guys now are wearing shorter shorts, which I consider short shorts for men. But it's one thing when I think the young people look ridiculous too, but you know, it's a throwback to when I was in school for sure. The guys wear shorts or shorter. But then when I see see a man that's at least my age, if not older than me, and he's wearing them, I'm like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know? But I don't know. I guess if it makes them happy and they don't care, then that's fine. But yeah. But it's funny because I always expect them to, you know, these older guys in these short shorts to have a pinky ring on and going out to get in their Corvette or, you know, whatever sports car that they couldn't afford when they should have worn those shorts. You know, probably not the case at all, you know, but yeah. Yeah, just me stereotyping, that's all. That's all. Okay, why am I not finding looking for the percentage? God, I can't even think of what I was looking for. Here, right here. Okay. Don't have that many, but I would like to get this part done for sure. I hope. Well, yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish this section during the whip and check because I think I'm going to have to go feed these knuckleheads, although they're not looking at me yet, so they're not gathered around me staring like they usually do. They are asleep in their beds. Except for Snoopy. Oh no, he's right behind me asleep. Okay. Because Max isn't home. If Max was home, Snoopy would be down there. He likes to lay with him in his recliner. All right, where's the pee, y'all? We're back to the pee. I need the pee. I need the pee. Where is the pee? Ah. Where is the pee? It's not over there. Okay, just start doing this, Leanne. Just start doing this. I know y'all are going, it's right there. Wouldn't surprise me if I just went right past it, too. Okay, y'all. Let's see what the P is 53. Oh, jeez. I've looked over there several times. Yeah, this is when I use the legend. Because at first I was like, there is no P. They have given me you didn't give me P drills. But no, user error. So y'all, so I have, you know, a Facebook group, Diamonds and Doxies. So if you're not a member and you'd like to be, just go over there and join. I'd love to have you. But I'm trying to make the group more enjoyable. You know, I feel like of all the groups on Facebook, I have got the most boring one. And I don't know what to do. I mean, obviously I could post more, but it's like, what do I post? You know, do I really have much to say? Do people even care? I don't think people care, I think is what it boils down to, what I have to say. But I don't know. What tips and tricks do you think would help with that? You know, because I would like for it to grow some. You know? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could ask questions that people could comment on, but I just always feel like I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't feel like, well, if they wanted to share, they would. I shouldn't feel that way because I don't share on other people's Facebook groups unless they're like, you know, hey, what are y'all doing? What's going on? Or what do you think about this? You know, and then I'm like, okay, I'll share. So yeah, I'm sure it's something I'm sure it's all me, and I'm fine with that. Just tell me, what do you think I should do? I mean, I am totally open to constructive criticism. Not meanness. Not meanness. But, I mean, I will listen and try to do better. If you say, well, you know, I've had people tell me, you know, Leanne, the focus was off. It was hard to watch. And I am grateful for that, because how would I know if you didn't tell me? I hope it's better. You know, I hope I fixed that problem. But, you know, I would much rather you go, you know, tell me before just unsubscribing or, you know, not watching my videos, because I can't fix what I don't know. Now, I mean, by the same token, if I'm like, yeah, I hear you and I understand you, but that's just the way I'm going to run my channel, then, yeah, that's an option for me as well. But, yeah. So, I don't know. Y'all tell me, what do you think? All right, where's my cigar? Here's my cigar. Right there. Haven't got into the, what do you call them, ABs yet. I always try to put those off until the last thing. The last thing I do. So I wonder, like, this is a small canvas, 13 by 13 or 33 by 33 centimeters. Some people would not even section it off. They would just go through and do all of one color all the way through. Not me. And I'll tell you why, because I've done it before, and I thought I was going to lose my ever-loving mind. It was when I was fairly new to diamond painting. Well, I was new to diamond painting. And I was missing so many, and then I was like, because I'm one of those people, once I see that I'm missing it, I don't say, well, I'll go back and correct it. No, I stop what I'm doing, and I correct it. And then the more I go, I'm like, I missed them. You know, it's like very frustrating for me. And I haven't tried it since. But on this one, I mean, you certainly could. You certainly could. But I do like sectioning off. Yeah, I feel like it works better for me. But I wonder how many of y'all do the whole thing. You know, one color at a time. I think that would be easier to do if you used the tray system, you know, where you kit up in trays as opposed to bottles, you know. So all you have to do is pull out a tray. But I don't know. I've never done those either. I don't do change very well, in case you haven't picked up on that. I'm not really good at change. So, yeah. You know, I was thinking the other day, having all these new siblings and stuff, and having found my dad, I feel like I should do another About Me video. Because things are different now. What do you think? Should I do a different About Me video? I felt like I should. I feel like I should. What do y'all think? Or do you like, no, once was enough, Leanne. We don't need to know anymore. I mean, I guess if you follow along my videos, you hear it all anyway. Can't imagine I would do a About Me video that is not something you haven't already heard. Oh, gosh. Dog.
y'all. What do I want to eat for cereal? Well, for cereal. What do I want to eat for dinner tonight? I'm thinking about Grape Nuts cereal. I like Grape Nuts. I got to tell you something. I am happy. And this is not meant to be political, so please don't take it as such. But I am happy that Robert Kennedy is getting rid of some of this stuff in our food. And I'm glad that he's going to run some, you know, let's find out where, you know, I used to work in special ed. I was a teacher's aide, and I worked with the autistic children. And I mean, there was like 6 of them. And one class was 6 autistic children out of the whole entire elementary school. And it was K through 6. And they were all ages, you know, so because there just wasn't that many. But I mean, these kids could not speak, you know. Not saying they weren't smart. Some of them were very, very, very intelligent. But, you know, you're talking about, I mean, it's up there with like, you know, if you knew, like alcohol fetal syndrome is preventable, right? It's preventable. We know that. And don't you think it would be nice if we could figure out what if anything, is causing these issues? And because so many people are getting diagnosed. I get that, you know, it's more widely diagnosed now, and they've increased the spectrum. So, I mean, I think I'm on it. I think everybody's on it, really. But what I'm saying is some people, like the kids I worked with, you know, I'm guessing they would have liked to not have been, you know, I think they would have liked to have been able to speak because they were very frustrated sometimes that they couldn't. They had a hard time expressing themselves, and I can only imagine, you know, that you're trying to explain something to somebody who cannot understand you. That would be very frustrating. So I do think it would be nice if we can figure out what, like I said, if anything, is it just our genes are mutating, or is it from the dyes? You know, is that contributing to it? Like even the ADHD. I mean, it seems like everybody is on medication for that now. And, you know, I question, I mean, I see a lot of people get on it that are adults, and suddenly, you know, they've got issues that they've never had before, you know. Now they're super anxious, so now they got, and so the doctor's like, well, now you got to take medicine for your anxiety, and that you never had before, you know, you never had it before. And so I'm just like, you know, what if we did remove some of these substances, these chemicals from our diet, you know, these artificial colors that, you know, are not healthy, you know, that have already been banned in many places. So I'm like, I am all for this. I am all for getting rid of that. And I don't think that's political. I think that's healthy, you know. But yeah, I would really, I'm hopeful that this will actually, I know it's going to take time. You know, they can't just say we're removing them today and then tomorrow they're gone. I mean, you know, you've got to come up with a plan B, right? And get your hands on it and change everything. I mean, you're got to change the factory. You got to change everything. So I get it. It's going to take a hot minute. But yeah, I mean, I do wonder so many things. I mean, so many things are different than when I was a kid. And I mean, when I was growing up, I mean, generally speaking, if there was a child who was obese, they literally had a hormone problem. I mean, they literally did. Now, I should also say, when I was growing up, I mean, I remember when they built the first McDonald's, and, you know, in our area, and you know, I think I was 14 or something like that. But growing up, it wasn't like I was being abused or anything like that. It's just everybody ate at home, you know. We ate at home. Most of, you know, yes, you could buy your food, you know, your school lunches. They were very basic. You know, it was like, here's what we're having. You either eat it or you bring your lunch. You know, we didn't have options or anything. Not until we got into high school. But most people did bring their lunch. Unless they were on, you know, reduced or free lunches, then they would get that. But, and like I said, there really wasn't childhood obesity. You just didn't hear that. You just didn't. And, you know, we played outside, you know, all the mothers, you know, were like, especially on the weekend, were like, nope, go outside and play. Can't come in here and play. I'm, you know, cleaning, I'm doing whatever, you know, you need to run along and go outside and play. So that's what we did, you know. Occasionally, you know, in the afternoon, like 3 and 4, somewhere on in there, Gilligan's Island would come on, Ultraman, and, you know, things like that. And we'd gather around the TV and watch those and have a little bit of a after-school snack. But then we went out and played, you know. We went out and played. And so things were different. But, yeah, I want to say the next generation really did. And then please don't misunderstand me. My kids have had their fair share of McDonald's and all the other ones too, because it became convenient, you know. Everything became convenient. And it's not healthy food. I mean, none of it is. It's nowhere near as healthy as eating something at home. And then also our portions got big and the prices were cheap, you know. So it was like, well, I can cook at home, but for the same price, but then I don't have to clean it up. We can go out to eat, you know, because it was cheap food. It was processed food. It wasn't real food. It was processed food. And I feel like maybe that might have had something to do with a lot of people's issues. Now, I am not saying by any stretch of the imagination that, you know, it's the vaccines. I'm not saying that. I am, because I've been vaccinated. My kids have been vaccinated. I am not an anti-vaxxer at all. But I do think, you know, maybe we should at least, you know, say, sure, I'd like to make sure that, you know, what we're doing is safe for our kiddos. I mean, the amount of vaccinations has gone way up, you know, than what it used to be. I mean, I don't know what they are now because I don't have children, but I know there's a lot more by the time you hit kindergarten that you have to take. My kids never had to take chickenpox vaccine. They got the chickenpox. And having said that, one of my son's friends, he was, he had a stroke when he was 3 years old from having the chickenpox. So, you know, he definitely would have benefited from a vaccination. But it wasn't a thing then, you know. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like, what is safer, you know, to get something naturally? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I do know someone who did have a stroke from chickenpox. So, I mean, my kids got chickenpox. They had no problems. I've never had chickenpox. No one ever remembers me having chickenpox. Turns out my dad's never had chickenpox, so I think we got some kind of weird immunity or something. And so he's never got the shingles vaccine because he's like, well, I've never had the chickenpox. And I said, well, yes, but my doctor said it doesn't matter. You can still, you know, you still need to get the shingles vaccine. And this new one that they've come out with, I say new, in the last few years, it doesn't matter whether you've had chickenpox or not. You can still take this this vaccine. So I did, and I am here to tell you what. That dang thing made me sick. I mean, sick. Like flu sick. Like run a fever sick. Oh, it was horrible. I hated it. I hated everything about it. Now, when I had to go get the second one, which honestly, I had forgot that I had to do that. I just so happened to be at the doctor's, and she was like, well, it's time for your second shingles. And I was like, what? I don't want to do it. But it didn't bother me at all. So I don't know what that means, that I got really sick. If that meant I shouldn't have got one because I never had the chicken pox, or if it meant, you know, it's a good thing you got it, or else you'd have had a really bad case. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to know, you know? So my dad's like, well, I'm not getting it because I've never had chicken pox. And I said, well, you know, I have heard that you could get like one little chicken pox, you know, one of those little pox in your hair, and, you know, and you would never know it, you know, so it would be a super mild case. And he went, I don't know. So, I mean, he'll be 88, and he's never had he's never had shingles. So, and he's been around his, you know, his other daughters when they had chicken pox, and he never got it. See, the same thing with me. I was around my kids, and I was like, oh no, here we go. I'm going to get chicken pox. Did not. And that's when I asked my doctor, you know, I was like, how, you know, I don't understand. And he was like, well, you could have had it. It was just such a mild case that nobody noticed. But I don't know. I mean, I've been around people with chicken pox many times. But I got it because I had friends that had gotten shingles, and yeah, I was like, nope, I don't want shingles. I mean, these are people that are like, no, I'm not going to get get a vaccine, and then they're going, get the vaccine. Whatever you do, get the vaccine. Because they're even, you know, months later, a year later, you know, it's like something happens and they break out. They have another breakout. It's like, oh my gosh. So, yeah. But I think that's weird that... And I asked my sister Darla, I said, have you ever had chicken pox? And she said, I don't ever remember having chicken pox. And her kids had chicken pox, but she said, I never got them. I was like, I wonder. She's like, but, you know, I don't know. She goes, I don't think I ever did. No one ever told me I did. You know, it's like, is there like some people just have an immunity or something? I don't know. I don't know. You know, Max still has not had COVID. Neither has my daughter. And my daughter, the whole family has had it more than once. And she hasn't either. So I don't know. I do not know. You know, I need to ask my dad what his blood type is. I don't even know what my mother's was. Can't believe that's not something I didn't ask her. Max is O positive, and so is Jennifer's, my daughter's. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But, I mean, I just got it for the first time last May, so it's been a year. And I did not get the boosters, so. It just didn't, you know, just didn't do it. But I also haven't gotten my flu vaccine in, this is my, well, I just came out of my second year, so if I don't do it this year, it'll be my third year. And I'm sure I will regret that at some point, but I don't know, I'm kind of like, well, you know, they have stuff now to lessen the symptoms. You know, maybe that's the thing to do, because sometimes the shot does not cover the strain of flu that is going around. And you talk about making you angry if, you know, you end up getting it getting the flu shot, and then you end up getting the flu. So a lot of people this year got the same flu, and it wasn't part of the shot. So, yeah. Max is home. So, let's see here. Try to finish this. I'd like to finish it. I think I'm yapping your ears off, though. I don't know. Do y'all like the longer videos or the shorter videos? I mean, I hate to like stop mid diamond painting, midsection, I should say, because I don't know, just don't like to do that if I don't have to, and I usually have to. Yep, there they go. Daddy is home. All right, I need this other weird one. Oh, there it is, right there. I see it. Okay. I only need 2, I think. Oh, and then I need that one. Okay. Let's see. This one. Oh, I need those. I hate when there's just like one. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we can go to La Casita if you'd like. Well, let me finish my whip and chat. No worries. Okay. Let's see, where is... That's not it, because that's a... Here it is. Okay. And I also need this little bibbity boo. Let me go ahead and get that out while I'm at it. Okay. There we go. 26. I know a lot of people don't use these numbers here, but I do. I do. I like them. Okay. Take this one out. I got us a little freeloader there. Three for there. Alrighty. Move this. Well, I hate when I start hurrying a little bit, because then I get sloppy, and then that irritates me because I don't like sloppy. Okay, that's that. Okay, now we're all into the danger zone. No, we're into the ABs now. So let's start with 1. That's how we only have 4 of those. Alrighty. Ah, this is why I don't like them. This glue dot, by the way, is old. It's not new. But yet, you would think it is. So, all right, 2. That's another thing. I was like, I gotta go in order. But we're almost there, y'all. I really am liking this kit. These are great. And they have a bunch, or they did, on, and I have a few on Amazon, on their Amazon front. So, highly recommend. They do have some bigger ones, more expensive ones, but I like just getting these. So it's it's a snack. Sometimes you just want a snack, and that's what this is. Just a little snacky size, snacky snack. Sometimes you want the full meal. Sometimes you don't. Okay, nope, that's not all the 2s. I have 4 here. and 3 here. There we go. There we go. Now we're into the 3s. 3, 3, 3. So yeah, y'all be sure to check out Mia's channel and Anthony at Single and Placing. I will link their channels down below. First of all, they're just great people, great channels, and they're hosting this event. So I think it's just a paint along. I don't, if I remember correctly, there's no prizes. It's just the camaraderie of it, which is all I really care about. Myself, so yeah. I mean, when I first started diamond painting, I did want to win prizes. I entered for prizes, and I did win prizes. And that's also a way I got to learn about new shops and, you know, find out other, because, you know, a lot of times it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of money to pay, and I don't know about this company. And then you win like a gift certificate to them, and then you find out about them, and you're like, oh, heck yeah. And so then you're, you know, buying multiples. So, or even with like trays or putties and stuff, you know. I do like trays, but I've had to slow down because it's like, oh, I could have, you know, I could end up with a lot of trays. So, and Yellow Dog Design and Bijou Bliss are my absolute favorite trays. I know everybody's got their own, and there's plenty of companies, but those are my favorite. So, I like those both. I have tried other ones, and I do like Muni Maids too, except I like the smaller ones, and, you know, but I have never done, you know, a custom order. Maybe I should get in line, you know, just join the wait list. I mean, I think it could take up to a year. I don't know. And that way I can get one that way. I mean, I've gotten them from ordering, but the thing is with ordering, if you order a small kit, you get a smaller tray, which I prefer on hers because her big ones are huge, and it's hard for me to hold. So, yeah. So, yep. All right, y'all. Number 4. Number 4 is the last color and the last AB in this section. So, woohoo! And I end up with so many extra drills just laying all over the place. Uh-oh. And then this one here should have got taken out, and it didn't. And then here's another freeloader. Get out of here, freeloader. That's what Kroger used to call their sackers, you know, that take your groceries out for you too, and they were called freeloaders. Because back when I was growing up, you tipped the sacker, and you know, and he took your groceries out to the car, and you tipped him. You know, that was part of it. And then they came out with freeloaders. Although I think a lot of people still tipped. But I hardly ever see anybody have their groceries taken out anymore. So, yeah. Hardly ever. If ever, I haven't in years. I mean, one time I did because I had a lot of stuff, and it was raining. And the guy was like, I'll take them out for you. Let me help you. And so I'm like, okay. Well, of course I had to tip him, right? Because, well, first of all, I had to tip him because he went out there and unloaded my groceries and took the cart back. But also it was raining. So it was very helpful. Okay. Oh, nope. No. False alarm. False alarm. Okay, here's the last. There we go, and I just love feeling them. Don't you love feeling them? Do you love rounds or squares better to feel them? I like feeling squares better, but these are nice too. These are nice too. So, yep. First, looks like about 1 of 12 sections that I'll have. So, all right, y'all. Well, I guess we're going to go eat Mexican food this evening, which will be fun. And I will see y'all later. Oh, I've got to film a my daily vlog for my members of the channel. So I'll do that. Hopefully I don't forget. Sometimes I forget, y'all. Alrighty. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if so, you'll give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I'd love to see you back. And I should be live on Wednesday. So most Wednesdays I go live unless something comes up. So anyway, y'all, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.